They hate small r republicanism or small d democracy because they wish to impose their ideology on how they want to rejigger human beings on the rest of the planet. And if you don't go along, you're to be killed. Hence, Marxism has killed 100 million human beings and has enslaved billions. Hence, Islamicism has killed hundreds of thousands of human beings, and if you don't comply, you will be killed. Let's go to Australia. Sky News, University of Sydney, shuts down Intifada event held by a socialist group. Now, Intifada means, the Islamists use that phrase, the absolute elimination of Jews, and not just in the Middle East, all over the world. This is a phrase the Islamists use. The Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda, the Islamic Brotherhood. So many, it's hard to remember them all, isn't it? ISIS. You have Palestinian jihadists. You have Arab and Muslim jihadists, just jihadists everywhere. That is the word that is common among all of them. Go.
Now to Sydney University, James, where administrators have had to shut down an event promoting a global intifada. The event, which was to be held by a socialist group today.
So stop. You need to understand, and you do, because you've read American Marxism and the Democrat Party Hates America. Those are the two books that are crucial today, crucial more than any other book I've ever written. Those are the two books where you'll understand everything, and you'll be able to confront it. You see, notice in the same sentence, and she's 100% right, the Marxists and the Islamists, they overlap. They both hate America, they hate Israel, they hate the West. They both hate the great philosophers like a John Locke or a Montesquieu. They hate the idea of individual free will, yet essential truths given by God. We talk about in the Declaration of Independence. They hate small r republicanism or small d democracy because they wish to impose their ideology on how they want to rejigger human beings on the rest of the planet. And if you don't go along, you're to be killed. Hence, Marxism has killed 100 million human beings and has enslaved billions. Hence, Islamicism has killed hundreds of thousands of human beings, and if you don't comply, you will be killed. And so they massacre populations of people, people who have a different faith, people who practice Islam differently than they do. They're subhumans, they're non-humans. So whether it's the Marxist ideology or the Islamist ideology, they overlap. And that's why you see in these universities, you see the socialists of Sydney, or whatever they call themselves, and so forth and so on, supporting each other. That's why you see a cozy relationship between communist China and the Islamo-Nazi regime in Tehran, Iran. Go ahead.
You've covered this story. What is going on at our universities?
Well, Rita, sadly, the same thing that's been going on at so many universities around the world, including the United States and the UK and here in Australia, of course, as well. Essentially, they wanted to have a meeting on campus at the university. They put up flyers around the place. And the flyers, Rita, were just incredible because not only did they call for a global intifada, which is a terrorist uprising against, oppression, whatever they're calling it this week, but it also, the poster had on it a picture of a bulldozer that was being used by Hamas to breach the security fence in Israel on October 7, staging the way for those horrific terrorist massacres. So this is what they were glorifying. Now, I found out about this yesterday afternoon. We published a story on it, contacted the university by about 8:30 last night. They informed me that the event was not going to go ahead. But I also hear that the university, there's problems with posters of hostages being torn down, as we've seen elsewhere around the world. So, Sydney University, our universities here, Rita, are not exempt to this sort of lunatic anti-Zionist pro-Hamas shilling that we're seeing around the world, pushed by the loony academic left.
Fantastic. The Sky News, Sydney, Australia. I believe that's owned by the Murdoch family too. But whether it is or is not, one of the things I've noticed, by the way, on Fox, obviously I have a program there, is they don't make any apologies for their support of Israel. And they even promote frequently during the course of the day support, financial support for Israel-related causes. You won't see that on CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS. You sure as hell won't see it in the New York Times, given its record, or the Washington Post, given its record.
For more, sign up for Levin TV.